Welcome. I'm the chair of the the leader of the Retirees Association, and pleased to be here to chair this annual general meeting. Before we get started, I'd like to ask Laura McClelland, who's our Vice President of University Relations, to bring greetings on behalf of the university. Unfortunately, President Trinity could not be here today, but I'm pleased to welcome Laura to say a few words.
Oh, it's a little low.
There we go.
I feel believe me, I needed to lift it a little. It's so wonderful to join you this morning. And the Bodner family, I just want to say how grateful we are that this is a place that we can all come together on a regular basis. It means a lot, and they're familiar faces to many of us. And as I've learned more and more about your mother's, your wife's history here, it's a beautiful foundation for these AGMs. So I just wanted to start. I'm Laura McClelland, the Vice President, University Relations with MacEwan University. I wanted to share a little bit about where MacEwan is at right now. And I wanted to tether it back to the foundation that each of you created. And so MacEwan wouldn't be on the trajectory that it's on without the great commitment and work that each of you put into the institution. The big news, and I'm sure many of you have heard about it, is 18 months ago, we broke ground on our new School of Business building. You may have seen progress. We've completed all of the floors and the scaffolding is on. I think we're now up to the 4th floor. It's tremendously exciting to see this building take shape. Every week, every month, as I come in the mornings, to see the skyline and to see this building emerge, it's pretty powerful for the downtown Edmonton. This building will open in winter of 2027, and it creates capacity for 7,500 students. MacEwan isn't growing for growth's sake. That number was purposeful. When we look at Alberta's demographics, not only is Alberta leading Canada in the volume of youth that we have, that growth that MacEwan is forecasting is representative of the need of the demographic bulge coming through K through 12 system, but also demands for students in the School of Business. So very exciting time that not only we're meeting the needs of students, meeting the needs of their families, we're also meeting the needs of community and industry. I'm grateful to see all of the partners that we have underway supporting that School of Business. They see the value our graduates are bringing to the table and are supporting MacEwan to provide more opportunities to keep delivering the exceptional undergraduate education that we do. I also want to reference we have a new board chair. Some of you may have crossed paths or know Scott Kashuba. He's our first alumni to hold the position of board chair. Before becoming board chair, Scott was appointed by the Alumni Advisory Council to serve on MacEwan's Board of Governors. He's been a tremendous supporter of Division Teaching Greatness, and he brings a depth of knowledge, stability, experience, and passion for MacEwan that will ensure MacEwan's ongoing positive growth and impact. We also recently installed MacEwan's second chancellor, the Honourable Gary Miller. As a government and business leader, Gary tells me he's excited to be a strong ambassador for the university and celebrate how our graduates are making a difference in the communities. And what a difference MacEwan makes. We now have over 90,000 alum. More than 90% of them choose to stay in Alberta after graduation. Around 83% choose to stay in the greater Edmonton area. So this makes MacEwan a really significant contributor to the economic prosperity and productivity of the greater Edmonton and Alberta area. At the State of the University address last month, President Trinity celebrated the tremendous progress that we've made towards the milestones established to track success in the umbrella document Teaching Greatness. At the midpoint of our journey in Teaching Greatness, we've already met and exceeded many of the interim goals. And we're confident as we move towards 2030, not only will we meet them, many of them again will be exceeded. Shifting over to some of the academic milestones we have, 100% of our degree programs, and many of you will know this, have a work integrated learning component, giving students the opportunity to take what they've learned in the classroom and apply it to real life situations. We're giving students the flexibility they need by offering more spring and summer courses, and our enrollment is growing. So we have over 20,000 students at MacEwan this fall. 5,300 are new students, and the campus is buzzing with energy. I'm sure if you've walked our halls Monday to Friday, anytime between 8:30 and 2:30 in the afternoon, it's hard to get through and with any speed or cadence because the hallways are pretty crowded. But the energy and the dynamic conversations are so exciting to listen to. All of this growth wouldn't be possible without the foundation that each of you helped build. We recently had the Building Operators and Managers Association, so BOMA. MacEwan was featured in their annual magazine, and that magazine shifted its focus in the Edmonton area and the language that they wanted to reference it as. So no longer is it just the BOMA magazine, it's called Square Footage. And their inaugural edition on the front cover, some of you may have seen it, had members of our MacEwan Means Business campaign cabinet. So Rob Seibel from DLA Piper, Simon Chatty of Imperial Equities, and President Trimby. So that was the front cover. And then when you open the magazine, and if any of you haven't seen it, please do reach out to my team. We'll make sure you can see a copy because it's actually MacEwan over time. It shows where the beginnings of MacEwan from a physical infrastructure perspective were, the changes in over time, where instruction took place throughout the Edmonton area. It looks at consolidation at the end, but it's not just the bricks and mortar that it talks about. It tells the story about what happened inside each of those buildings. It's a really powerful article, and what even makes it more special is it's not MacEwan's article. It was those others in industry, in the community that work in construction, that work in design, that asked if they could profile MacEwan in it. So it's pretty darn exciting, and I'd be happy to share that with you. I really enjoyed reading about the history and what stood out most in the stories that were told to the journalists that were collecting them was the dedication and effort that our faculty and staff have always put into ensuring MacEwan meets the needs of students and meets the needs of the community. Some other highlights I just want to share. If you come to MacEwan on the odd Wednesday this fall, last winter, and again this upcoming winter, we've been working with Teresa Spinelli at the Italian Center to do pop-up food markets. So she brings about 1,500 sandwiches on campus, and for $5, students can purchase their meals. It is a student-dedicated initiative. Students did talk very strongly about the importance of affordability. So we worked with a number of our downtown partners to say, what can we do? So she comes in and you know, it's interesting watching these big burly guys leave with 3 sandwiches, and you know those foot-long sandwiches are going to be eaten by that night. So we were working with her, and she loves it. One of the little notes she sent last night is that she blushes when a lot of the students say, "No, we get a selfie." And so these kids or these students are taking pictures with her, sending it to their parents or sending it to their family. But more importantly, we're meeting the students' needs where they are and how they need it. And Teresa feels this cementedness to MacEwan. And that's what makes MacEwan so much different than so many other organizations that are out there. We're not doing it for MacEwan's sake. We're doing it to meet the needs of our students. We also had at our spring convocation, the former Chief Justice Beverly McLaughlin received an honorary doctorate. One of the most transformational Chief Justices that we've had in Canada's landscape. Told some beautiful stories about her time here in Edmonton and the family that she has here in Edmonton still. And the passion that she showed for MacEwan as she traveled our halls was just exciting to listen to. And then I do want to say thank you to Elsie. A couple months ago, with the great support of our alumni and development team at MacEwan. So we have Crane Longos and Kristen Brimble and Michelle Stevenson doing some phenomenal work, and they were able, with support from Elsie, to get Dale Wishow on campus. So the president CEO of Mr. Juice for an alumni event, one of our strongest performing alumni events, where we had students coming back on campus to listen to Dale Wishow tell how he grew booster juice from a little store in Sherwood Park to become an international sensation. So it's a pretty inspiring place to be. You feel the tingles all over your body when you see some of these things happening. When you see students telling their stories. About 4 weeks ago, I was walking down the hall and in front of me, there was a group of girls. My oldest daughter is in the faculty of nursing at McEwen. She wasn't part of this group, but I'm more attuned to listen to what they're saying. So I'm going to be told at home something that they've heard at school, and I just need to prepare it for everything here. And this group of girls said, I'm so glad you're in this class. I'm so glad I met you because I think we're going to be best friends. What a transformational place for kids. So thank you very much for having me join you today. I can't be more grateful for the foundation that you set. Please know that McEwen is in great hands. It's going great places, and you're a part of that. So with that, I'll turn it back to you. Elsie.
Thank you. That was very educational. I don't know about the rest of you, but I was flashing back memories. I have memories of flashing back to all the campus moves and all the office moves and all of it, that growth that we've experienced over our time at McEwen. And talking about friendships, I just have to mention Alan Knowles. He's here today, and his daughter Heather and my daughter Julie met in business transfer. Mark Lund, I know, was one of their teachers, and that was many years ago, and they are still amazing friends. And so, yeah, it is truly that kind of environment. So, thank you for that. That was just awesome. And the BOMA magazine, absolutely, we'd love to see that. Great. Okay, we want to move on. I know I want Ron Bodner to come up and say a few words on behalf of being in this beautiful Bodner Museum and hosting us here. We truly appreciate it. I'd love you to come up and bring greetings and say a few words for us.
Morning. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here. I've known you a lot, many of you for a long, long time. My son Conrad, our son Conrad, and his girlfriend Tiffany. My grandson Nick is right there. And my daughter may be here later, our daughter may be here later with the twins. And I've been asked several times how I am. I have to tell you, I'm great. Because up until August 15, if I walked up those stairs, I ran out of energy. I needed a valve, main valve, aortic valve. And we complain about our healthcare system and all the shortcomings, whatever, but I walked into the Mazankowski at 6:30 on a Friday morning, and I had to shuffle my feet to get there, stop twice to get to the registration desk at the cardiology center. And by 9:30, I had a brand new valve, but 2:30 in the afternoon, I walked out of there. Fantastic. And I guess my wife is always involved in the nursing program, and you look at the cardiologists, but they have nurses along with them, and of course, they say hi, goodbye, but after that, the nurses look after you forever and a day, so it's a fantastic thing. Anyway, thank you for being here. We hope you come back again and enjoy yourselves.
Thank you.
Hello, thank you for coming. This would make Mom smile. I do want to also bring a note to, we talked about some relationships that were made years back and whatnot. But I can say that we still are impacted by McEwen, our family, because Tiffany's daughter Samantha did part of her kinesiology degree at McEwen. And Dannon's middle grandson, Nick, is currently enrolled. I don't know if he'll make the new business building or not, because he may graduate by that time, but he is currently enrolled in the faculty of business at McEwen University, as is Tiffany's son, Nick. So we have two currents and one recent graduate from McEwen University. So again, the foundation you guys laid is it's still working to our benefit. Just some of the, I guess, the ground rules and whatnot, not to turn it to the infrastructure end of things. Of most importance, some of you have probably found them already. The washrooms are just around the corner here. And then joining us today, I guess I should talk about social media and that sort of thing. If you take pictures, please keep them for us in this room and whatnot, rather than posting them online and whatnot. We ask for no social media exposure and whatnot. I know you're live streaming this and whatnot, which
No, we're not.
you're not.
No,
Well,
we're not live streaming. We just have a couple of people who join the meeting
oh,
electronically.
well, that way, okay.
Yeah.
But that's fine, but
We don't do that.
long and short, we prefer that this be our intimate little afternoon rather than
Yes.
the world's. And then, along with, I'm sure most of you know, where's Norma, with Norma Young, who works as a host and interpreter with us for all types of events. Of course, she's in your event because she's part of your long and illustrious alumni. But her friend Ron here is also here to help us today. If you have questions about the museum and one of the family members isn't around, Ron and Norma are certainly very well versed on a lot that goes on in this building also. So again, thank you for joining us. Mom would think this is awesome, and thank you.
You.
Those remarks, always a pleasure to be here. Can actually now call the meeting to order. We're going to move for adoption of the agenda. May I have a mover, Barry, and seconder, Joan, Barry Davis, and Joan Hacker. Any discussion? Any questions? All good? All in favor? Passed. Thank you. And we can move on to our annual general minutes, 2024. I will move, somebody will move, yes, Mark Lund will move to approve. Seconder, Denise Troy. Questions, corrections, discussion? We're good. All right. All in favor? Excellent. We can move that past. Moving on to my report. Not going to read it for you. It's in the agenda package. But I do want to say that it's been a pleasure to be the chair for this past year. We have bylaws that have a rotational chair position for 1 year. Oh, can you not hear me? Sorry, I was just off the mic. Thank you. I was using my teaching voice, but I guess it wasn't part of that. Yes. Oh, this podium. Thank you. Yeah, I can see you. You can't see me. Okay, thank you. So anyway, this is our 10th anniversary celebration. So we are doing a few little special things today, including we have a wonderful cake. And then on the table, we have some past memories from our memory book for you to enjoy. And later on, during lunch, we have a trivia quiz and prizes and a door prize. So we're going to have some fun with that. And teams of 4 for the quiz later on, so you do have help. And I just want to say it's been a pleasure to have chaired for this last year. I will be moving and transitioning into past chair according to our bylaws. And this group has been amazing to work with. You have so much help. It's really not that much of a time commitment. And I guess I'm putting in a plug for those to step up and consider taking on a leadership role. We do have vacancies, and you will see that as in the slate to be read. We're looking for a chair, we're looking for a vice chair. These are 1-year commitments, and we really do need people to step up into these roles. Everyone else on the group, some are retiring from the group, some are moving into other positions. And it's been a fantastic group to work with, but please consider stepping up to help with our events. We have 2 major events a year, as you know, theater night and our barbecue in the spring. And with our other communications, such as our newsletter and emails, we want you to be connected and engaged. through those mediums as well. It's, I can't say enough about how much fun it's been, so please do consider it. I'd like to also mention and update you on our student success bursary. This was a work in progress. We're doing quite well. We have 2 recipients so far. Our 3rd recipient, I believe, is going to be announced early November. And at present, we have $4,390 in our fund, which is great. Obviously, 1,000 will go out to the 3rd recipient that we will hope to interview or at least talk to, and have a wonderful article about that recipient in our next newsletter. I think that will be it for my report, unless there's any questions. Oh, I will say one more thing about our student bursary. The Bodger family have been incredibly generous in that we have a $20 donation that we make to come here, and that is turned back into our student bursary. So thank you. So, questions? Good. Move to treasurer's report. Terry, thank you.
Morning, ROMU McEwenites. I thought at one point I was going to call you Romulans, but I looked it up. And Romulans are humanoids and very crisp and warlike. And I know the McEwenite part of ROMU is that we are warm and giving and very social. So we're definitely not Romulans. I would refer you to Appendix 3 in the agenda package for the Treasurer's Report, which lays out the proceedings for the year against the budget. I would note one error. This was actually a penultimate draft, and I didn't catch the change before it came to the final agenda, that there is a $5 error in the report. And so I would say that the proper report will be issued in due time with the minutes of the meeting. It was $5 from sale of the memory book, which then brings the loss to $5 less than was shown on the report. So I would just draw your attention to that. The other part of the report, I would very much like to acknowledge the support that we continue to get through the 10 years of ROMU from alumni affairs and the development area of the university. And that's laid out in the report as well. These funds very much support the activities of the theater night, the parking passes for the theater night, some of the ongoing expenses in support of ROMU and its work. And in the past year, those 2 supporting agencies of the university also covered some overrun in the area for our activities. So very much thank you to the university and those 2 departments for that. So with that, I would move that we accept the amended treasurer's report as provided.
I don't know. For information.
If we accept it as information.
Yeah, accepted as information.
As amended.
Yeah, as amended.
Yes. So I would move that. Seconder. Yeah, thank you. Nina, yeah, all in favor? Very good. And the other part then is just the annual process of approving the budget for next year, which is not any imagination in that. It's the same, go around again, and we'll see if we can do that. So
Do you want to move that?
I would move approval of the budget, seconder. Deborah?
Good stuff.
Deborah Stiles, okay, thank you. All in favor? Very good, thank you.
Thank you. Well done. $5.
Thanks, Harry.
$5.
Yes, and I just want to also echo appreciation to the university. university relations and alumni relations for the support that they do give us in actual money to carry out our theater event in particular. And, you know, anytime I call up, anytime I email, I have an automatic wonderful response from Michelle or Laura or Kristen, who I often email about our student anniversary. I just want to show the appreciation that we do have for all the work and support that we get from you. Thank you very much. Thank you. We have committee reports now.
Tasha?
Sorry. Oh,
Tasha.
I will skip through. Tasha, our auditor. I'd like to move, or I would like to have a mover. Terry, would you like to move this? Sure. That we recommend auditor for 25-26. Tasha, who's with us today. Seconder. Catherine Hislop. All in favor? Yes, absolutely. Thank you so much, Tasha, for helping us out. We appreciate it. And she's a proud alumni as well from the School of Business. Accounting co-op, right? And BCom. Yeah. Beautiful example of laddering through from diploma to degree. And we will move on to committee reports. Now we're at social events and activities for information. Suzette Roy, if you have anything to add? Not really? Okay.
But, strong encouragement, board members at large. And so I got involved with the social committees, and it's a good way to start
It is.
on.
Yes. Yeah, for those of you who didn't, members at large are a wonderful way to get involved in the leaders group. And then you kind of find a niche, something you'd like to take on or volunteer for. It's worked just really well. And thank you again for all your work, Suzette. Care convener report. We have both Deborah Taylor and Catherine Hislop here. And if there's any questions or if there's any comments you would like to make.
I would just say thank you all. When you send us email to let us know when our colleagues have passed away or it really helps us to know and be able to reach out to them. So thank you for doing that.
Excellent, thanks. Ambassador program, Ada and Dorothy. I think Dorothy's here, but Ada, any comments? Nothing to add? Okay, well, thank you again for the work you've been doing as an ambassador.
Get to cheer for them.
Yes. I think those are the end of those committee reports. Now we got the biggie. Our nominating committee report. Mark? All right.
Everybody can see me.
I hope so. Yeah, you're the taller. I'll stand over here.
Yeah, and the way, I like to do, this is basically as a total. We have a slate of officers. It's not complete. We can certainly entertain additional, nominations, and I'll go through the list and see if there are any further nominations or any initial nominations. I'm kind of disappointed that the chair rotation has not turned out as expected. As I have stated more than once, that it worked very well on our old Nordic Ski Club. I worked through the rotation twice there, and we try to make the chair's job as easy as possible. Vice chair and past chair are really quite easy. The only duty the past chair has in the bylaws is standing up here and trying to select the next slate and chairing the committee, and most of the work was done by the hardworking committee. And Elsie, who wasn't even officially a member of the committee, but took an active role in recruiting. So, well, let's start with the big chores. We call for nominations for chair. Any volunteers for chair? You can self-nominate. And then you ask yourself, what happens if we don't have a chair? Nominations for vice chair. Secretary has agreed to stand for another term. And I bet you nobody would want to volunteer to take on Barb's job. Because we have one. I've been secretary, and it too is not a difficult chore. Treasurer, Harry is offered to stand for another year because what he'd really like is somebody to stand up and say, I will be treasurer and Harry will help you out for a year. Otherwise, we have him for a year, but no longer. Nominations for treasurer? No nominations. Debbie is moving from her previous position to, she's offered to stand as a membership coordinator. And I suspect there are no volunteers or nominations. You know, I'm getting kind of cheap and I printed the whole thing off, you know, 2 sheets on the page. I got to get a little closer to read. Events coordinated. Suzette is prepared to continue. She hasn't hit her 4 years yet. She will soon. And no nominations there, I bet. The ambassador, where are we going? Membership events. Kara Kaviner, Catherine, and Deb are prepared to stand on for another year. The we don't accept nominations for portal manager. It's a lifetime job appointed by the leader. And we are so appreciative of Margaret standing in that role. If you want a tough job, she also stands as our archivist and keeps us organized way back to the beginning. And ambassador program, Ada is offered to stand and to continue. And a researcher is kind of like the portal and archivist. It's a lifetime role, and we've really been fortunate with Trevor coming on from his previous life at McEwen, and has moved us into the 21st century technically. And when he's not here, we're usually in trouble. Is he with us today?
And not, he's already signed off because he's taking language lessons in Portugal.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's on the Azores, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Newsletter committee.
Newsletter. I missed it. Yes, and Joyce is prepared to stand for another round, another 2-year term as newsletter chair. And she extended her regrets for not being here today.
She's online.
She's online. Oh, good, good. And then we get to members at large, and it's already been expressed. We have an open.
Letter assistant editor.
Oh yes, assistant editor is
Dorothy.
Dorothy Ritz. Yes, thank you. And
Members at large. Members at large, some have duties. And we have, it's a great way to break into the leadership group. And, so we have an unlimited number of members at large. Is there anyone interested in standing as a member at large? Alice Nicholas? You got, get that recorded? Anyone else?
Denise?
Yes, our members at large at present, returning are Rick Lewis and Mary O'Neill. And then Denise Roy and Sharon Upton are seeking a first term. So I think that is our slate of officers. And where I come from, the simplest way to finish this off is I will call for nominations 2 more times. And then we'll declare that we have a slate of elected officers for the board, a leadership group. And the backup in the bylaws is that the board can add any additional members until the next AGM. So if we can't fill a position, the leadership group can replace or put in somebody who's willing to volunteer. And as often the case over the years, after the AGM, we end up with 1 or 2 members on the leadership group, hopefully a chair and vice chair. So, calling for nominations for a second time for any position on the slate. Calling nominations a third time for any position on the slate. I will then declare the slate elected to the positions for the 25-26 year. And some of them are 2-year positions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was great. We got that done. Again, we still are looking for your help. We will continue to do that. Mark wrote a very eloquent article in our last newsletter about the leaders group and about the roles. And I hope you did read that. It's in his report here as well, part of the nominating report. And do think about whether you have a little bit of time. It's not a lot of time. A little bit of time that you can devote to this. Next on our agenda are motions for information. All the motions that we have made listed 2024-25 for information. Any discussion? Any old business? Any new business? Hey, wow, quiet group. Guess what I get to do at this point? We need a motion to adjourn. That was the quickest motion to adjourn I've ever seen. Thank you, everyone. We are now adjourned and we can move on to lunch and social.
So Kelsey.
Thank you.
What's the new people here today at the club? Who've never been to the facility here before? Okay, what you do actually. So as Ron mentioned, Norma and Ron will do can do little visits around and show you some stuff and just give you background information about all the wonderful things. There's this floor and there's that floor. So there's a lot to see here. No photos that get posted on social media, please. If you do take any, we would like some for our newsletter. And we can put some in there, but and you can email them to the group. Yeah, so washrooms are that way, and there's a bit parking, so any questions, anybody who's new, wondering about the place? We're gonna have a lot of fun. So lunch will be served and then, free to ramble about, we got a couple of things that we're gonna do over lunch as well. Yes.
Maybe people who could identify themselves.
Yeah.
See who do.
So we actually have some new members since the last AGM, and a couple of guests as well. Who hasn't been here before, and who's a new member? Yeah. Yeah, so if you, can you introduce yourself?
Well, Moses, and I retired this May.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Okay. Ray brought his friend Stu as a guest. Welcome, Stu. Anyone else? Oh, yes.
University preparation, but when I got high school.
We're good.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Do you want to get a group photo at any point, or just for the general ones?
Oh, okay.
Okay. Can you show them? Picture, okay, follow the case.